Hi there, I'm Jeff Lindstrom. I'm going to do this very short video. It's be about 15, 16 minutes. About the classes that I'm teaching, I call it meditation and movement. I use mainly things from the Yiquan system, but some from Tai Chi. And so the first thing that we would do is standing meditation. Stand feet shoulders width apart, knees slightly back, kind of sit into your hip a little bit, let it go down your back. That kind of tucks the pelvis slightly, and then look forward. People tell you to tuck the chin and do all these other things. At first, I would say don't try and do too much. Uh, Elbows should be like toward the front of the body, not way back here. You don't want to stand like this. You want to relax the shoulders and round them. You can stand like this for a basic posture or just turn the hands backward. If you let them sit by the side, the arms aren't connected too well. So, the idea is to have those hands connected. There's different postures people stand in. We won't go through those. Then the next thing that we would do in the class would be possibly the 8 pieces of brocade, which maybe you've seen before. It's just a qigong stretching exercise. The next thing that we would do are some movements from Tai Chi and Yiquan, mainly the Shi Li movements. So, I would just like sink. This is the way that my teacher was doing the Tai Chi beginning posture. Um, Later on in his career, because he learned it from Master Choi in China. Teacher was Wang Ha. And then we can go into the other movements that you can do. I do them a little rounder than most of the Yichuan people because of the Tai Chi. I always try to keep the ring here, which people will talk about. The next thing that we would do after a bunch of those movements, there are a whole bunch of them, is shift to one leg and do some slow walking. So I step, I sink into the back leg, then I feel my hip move a little forward and I'm pushing into that foot. Now I know that's firmly on the ground. Then I sink to it. I do not step and leave the foot up in the air and then shift to it. Why? Because that foot could be on the edge of a cliff. So I don't want to move my weight until the whole foot's on the ground. Another advantage of keeping the foot kind of flat towards the ground is if I have to stop, that foot's already in position, right? And then as I said, I feel that area and I sink to it. I don't come up. This brings up too much of my body weight as far as I'm concerned. So if I come up like this, my body weight is up in my chest almost. I want to keep it down on my hips. So I like this nice low movement. The hip can move everything through the whole process of walking if you want it to. People do it differently. I'm not saying I'm the expert on it, but I like to have a firm foundation before I shift my weight. The other thing we do is arm swinging. So this is something that my teacher introduced near the end of the time I studied with him before he passed away. And so you'll see a lot of people do different ways of arm swinging. If you just bring your hands up like this and let them drop and completely relax, they kind of keep going. And so, you could try that a few times. What I do is I bring it up. When it starts to come back, you just stand up. So this is the basic method of doing it. If you notice, the bottom of the hip tucks as the hands come forward. The energy goes down my back. This is part of the saying, even in Tai Chi, that when one part goes up, another part goes down. So the energy goes down my back, even though I'm coming up. And I tuck the tailbone to swing the arms forward. The hip comes forward to bring it back. So another way of doing that is come back like this, stretch through your whole body with your hip, and then relax. What I don't want to do is this. If I'm leaning backwards, my lower body and upper body are no longer connected as they should be. Now you'll see people do it like this. You'll see people do all kinds of different, ones bringing their feet up and stuff. Those to develop more martial abilities would be very foolish. You're developing ways to be off balance. Some people say, well, that doesn't work your balance. That's their argument. I feel that I like to keep my body weight down And so I have the momentum going forward at the same time as and up at the same time as going back and down. Here it's going back, the pelvis comes forward to counterbalance it, right? So that's kind of the class idea. Um, that's how the class runs. Now, I've kind of created this into a longer workout that I do myself. It's kind of a aerobic workout. It's a very good aerobic workout. Just starts with the arm swing. Do a little arm swinging, right? Now, the object is the legs and the hips are doing most of the work. You could go way down if you really want to work the body, right? But just tilting the hip a little bit and going up and down a little bit. But I'm keeping my weight down in my lower body and at my feet. I'm not coming up in the air like I'm jumping. I want to stay down so that my balance is down in my core and not up in my shoulders, chest, or off the ground. I want to be firmly connected to the ground. Then maybe do a little backward. Then I just took different movements of the hips and combined them. So you can just turn the hips, right? You'll see people do this very slow. I just do it fast with the arms swinging, right? You could think of coming to the elbows if you wanted to, but I just do it so that it comes and swings. You could do almost like an uppercut type thing, right? So that could be the hook punch, uppercut, right? If you just turn the hips and go straight forward, it'd be more of a straight punch. But it's not my arms doing the movement. It's my hips and the waist tucking and untucking. I can even think of the weight going one direction and it will go that direction, right? So after a while, this also teaches you to be able to drop the weight in the body and control the weight. We're mainly water. So if you can learn to relax and compress the muscles, use the tendons in the body, you can almost make the water flow in your body like a wave. So you saw people doing this exercise like this, right? I usually do it more like this. This is more like pull down and push in Tai Chi, right? You could go backwards if you can go forward. There's two ways to do this. One, I can come up and go down, right? So a little tension, not much. The intention is what's really moving everything. So I'm going up to go up, down to down, or I can sink and push down almost, right? But it's the body that's doing it, right? It's not the hands. If I do it with the hands, I'm doing it wrong. Now, at first, when you're learning Yiquan or any of those arts, what you want to do is be very aware of your body. The standing and the Shili movements are all to create awareness of how the body moves and feel it. Then you can move the body and instead the hands will move. So it's a different way of doing it. The big advantage is my body weight is in the whole punch. It's just being grounded into the ground at the same time so that I'm not creating forward momentum. Somebody that does Aikido, Judo, or even Tai Chi loves when you give them forward momentum. They can just change the momentum, throw you, deflect you, push you. So don't create forward momentum. I can stop at any time, right? I can relax. But it's my body doing the motion and my intention moving the body, how it moves, right? So almost like a little shadow boxing workout, right? If you want it to be. You can go in a circle, right? This would almost be like double handward off, roll back if you want it to be. Go the other direction. You could step while you're doing it too, right? Notice when I step, if I want to do it slow step, then I do the step and sink to the back leg and then shift to the front leg. After a while, you get used to staying straight up and down and keeping your body weight low so you can move a little faster with the legs. All the different movements that you can do. But use the body, the hips opening and closing, right? Feel it go around your feet. Pay attention. Use your intention to move it, not just let it be random, right? Could step to the side, could step to the other side, right? So a lot of people just straightforward, but if you step to the side, it gets you off the straightforward path. Sometimes you can step right alongside the person because they're coming forward. Do whatever movements you want, right? See people jump back in this movement, right? I don't like jumping. I'd rather come back. You know, maybe you're jumping back if it's a sword or a spear, but I would say that I don't like jumping up in the air. Where's your foundation to your feet? Not there. They're just a little like boxing, shadow boxing, right? You can do it with a palm, you can do it with a fist, do it with one knuckle. That's how you want to do it, right? And I can actually turn like this. Now, people say, well, that's not the circle then when you do it that way, right? It's not a circle. If I do it this way, it's a circle. But this way, it's up and down, right? Up and down. So it's similar to this, only it's got an extra twist in it. Now, maybe when you do that, you want to step to the side so that twist also adds something else, right? You can think of a person's arm that you're grabbing. So I don't do this for martial arts, I do it for health. Because a good workout like this is good for your health. At 70, I need to do a good workout to get my heart rate up there, right? So I have a Fitbit on right now, and it's monitoring what I'm doing, right? It's just, discharge if you want to. Okay. So when I discharge, look, I'm relaxed. The hands spring, right? I'm not tightening myself up to do that. That way, I can change it to a different motion every time if I want to. If I tighten up, it's harder to move. It slows you down. Just play with it. Do whatever you want to do. Move around. But try and stay down in the body and not up in the air, okay, like this. Or don't lean, right? That's forward momentum. Do not want forward momentum. Okay, that's my alarm. Thank you all. Have a tremendous day. I'm giving free classes on the Zoom right now. If you're interested, I posted this. Just come enjoy the classes. Have a great day.